In studio with me now is Chuck Goldstone. He's been here before, and he's here again, and he's the author of This Book Is Not a Toy, friendly advice on how to avoid death and other inconveniences. And
let me tell you a story of amazing service, and then I'm going to follow it up probably shortly thereafter with the most egregious service that I've received in probably the year. This is about 8 years ago. I was in Hong Kong and stayed at a Ritz-Carlton. Not that I can afford to stay at a Ritz-Carlton, but they had a great deal, and they also said, we want you. So I go to it's a wonderful hotel, and it's right on the waterfront. It was a great stay, wonderful room. I run into one of the assistant managers in the lobby. Hello, Mr. Goldstone. How do they know my name? I don't know, but they did. So I had a little chat with this assistant manager, and she gave me a little tour of the hotel. It was really quite nice. I felt very special. At the end, she hands me she said, wait a minute, and she runs back to her office, and she brings me this little key ring that's very cool. It's heavy. It's well made. It says Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong. Let me actually.
You have it with you?
I have it. I will show you, and you can describe this.
Welcome to Hong Kong, Mr. Bond.
Okay.
Let me see.
Tell me about that keychain, that key ring.
That is very classy. It does indeed say Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong. There you go.
So it was a memory of a really wonderful,
nice.
a wonderful stay. Mm-hmm. So I'm carrying this key ring now for probably 5 or 6 years because it's what's the word I'm looking? It's just cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it broke. So I stopped using it, and about maybe a month and a half ago, I thought, I found pieces of it, and I said, because actually the reason it broke was not because it was shoddy. It lasted like 7 years, but the thing is, it's a thing, and things break.
Sure.
So now I have a broken thing that I used to like. On a fluke, I said, what can I lose? I go to their website, Hong Kong, Ritz-Carlton. I email the manager and I say, listen, many years ago I stayed. It was a wonderful stay. It was a wonderful key ring that I had, a little key ring. Do you still have them? Can I buy one? So next day, I get a note back. Dear Mr. Goldstone, thank you very much for your compliment and how wonderful your stay was. The Ritz-Carlton, as you knew it, closed last year. We're opening a brand new Ritz-Carlton in the tallest building in Hong Kong. We're going to be on the upper floors. It's going to be spectacular. But we're closed now. We'll not be opening until June. So I'm sorry, we really don't have these key rings. So I wrote back and said, thank you so much. Appreciated the stay. Look forward someday to staying in your hotel again. A week later, I get an email, and it says, greetings. I am delighted to let you know that we have secured a new key ring for you. Listen to this. After we received your message, our director of housekeeping, who is from the former Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong, sprang into action.
Wow.
She called up other ladies and gentlemen from the former Ritz-Carlton, Hong Kong, to inquire if anyone had the keychain you mentioned. In just a week's time, we found a brand new keychain nicely kept by a reservation manager. Wait for this one. She immediately brought it back to the office from her home.
Oh, my
Yes. We are arranging to send this over to your address stated blah, blah, blah.
So Goldstone really carries a lot of weight over there, apparently.
Unbelievable.
That's incredible
service.
Yeah.
I was astounded by. I mean, I imagine they're holding meetings. They're gathering staff of people who have retired. I don't know, but somebody had this at home, and that's why I have this new one now. Because a week later, I got an international UPS delivery, and there inside was this key.
Now they didn't know. I'm sure that you would be joining your friend on the radio and talking about this. But here, look at the offshoot. Not only are you just beaming, but you tell your friends, and now you're telling millions of people, and that's a nice. That shows you how things can happen.
Well, and the thing is that what I share with our former guest Nancy is I do a fair amount of consulting in the training and development area. That's my real corporate life. And we do a lot of work. We've done a lot of work in the last 20 years on customer service. That's why she was a particular interest. Nancy was a wonderful guest for me to have a chance to chat with. Yeah, Ritz-Carlton had no idea that I speak about this all the time. They had no idea that I do this radio. Normally you'll mention a good experience to 1 or 2 or 10 or 9 other people, and relate to a bad experience to more people. But I was astounded. I would tell anyone that's the kind of service that you got in the hotel. That's why I carried the keychain. It was the nicest hotel stay I've ever had, and one other story of another hotel that was similar to that, and I want to mention this one by name as well. It was called, and I think the name has changed, but it was a hotel in San Francisco called the Pan Pacific. I used to stay there when I would do work in San Francisco, and who did they? I stay there a couple of days. I leave. I stay. They always remembered my name. That's number one. But here's where it gets wild. I'd stay there maybe 5 or 6 or 7 times. They always gave me the corporate rate. It was a nice room. They always upgraded me. My parents were doing a trip in California, and they were driving up the coast. So I thought they're going to end up in San Francisco. So I said, I got the hotel for you to stay. So I gave the assistant manager a call. I said, you probably don't remember me. I've stayed there quite a bit, blah, 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 blah. My parents are coming up. Can you give them a nice room? And they said, we'll take care of it. Now we fast forward about a week. And by the way, I said before I hung, but any chance you can give him the corporate rate, which was a really good rate. He said, not a problem. We'll take care of this. I get a call. My parents have now arrived. This is 10 years ago. My parents arrive in San Francisco. My mother calls and says, Chuck, what did you do? And I thought, oh, no, I'm being punished. I'm a grown-up now. I'm being punished for something. What did I do? I said, why? What's going on? She said, let me describe the room we're in. We're on the top floor of the hotel. We've just walked through a marble foyer into a large living room. Off to the left is a bedroom. Off to the right is a bedroom, and there's a piano.
Oh, you got the room with the piano.
They just as apparently their suite was available. They thought, oh, what let's make this older couple happy.
Yeah, but I loved I loved the story about the keychain.
Oh, isn't that a
That was
keychain story?
fantastic. It's just, things like that just so rarely happen.
You know what? I am so pleased with the response of people. I will probably take the recording of this program and send it to my little friend from the Ritz-Carlton.
She's so thrilled.
My hope is that she'll say, "Oh, please come and be our guest."
But then you have to fly all the way. What's this, Hong Kong?
This is Hong Kong.
Okay.
It like I say, it was a spectacular hotel experience, and I would tell anyone that if you have a choice, just on that story alone,
So Lenny.
Yes.
You and me and your cat and the litter box and Chuck, we're all
going to
Hong Kong.
fly to Hong Kong.